Alright, so here's the first video of I guess Xbox Live trying to figure out how to improve your spacing online, even though, against all odds, what you can do when you're at home to hopefully try and improve your game. Basically, I try and approach these matches about like the same way I had to try and play Justin. So I'm gonna try and picture that the other guy's Justin. I'm just gonna try and out footsie him, like walk in and out of range, block, basically take as little damage as possible, block as much as you can, don't take any unnecessary hits, and try and just out footsie the other guy. And basically what that means for me here is only jumping or demon flipping when I get a knockdown, just trying to sweep his low forward. That's all I'm trying to do, and block fireballs and sweep the low forward, and block and tech. That's all I'm doing. If he jumps, I down fierce or uppercut, and otherwise I just try and block. Yeah, see, basically all I'm doing is just trying to block or sweep his low forward. That's the only move I'm concerned about. If I'm taking block damage, that's fine. Only demon flipping if I get knockdowns. Just trying to space him out and block. And the most important thing, like, if you ask people what footsies are and they say, it's hitting a button when they hit a button, or it's punishing, I guess Steve Harrison would say, it's punishing their buttons with one of your own while still not being at risk. So not leaving yourself open to risk, but still being able to get a free hit and reacting to what they press. But in reality, there's a lot more that goes on behind that, because even though your footsies are good, what's the point? There's no point if you're still getting hit by, random fireball here or random low forward here. The point is you want to be as solid as possible. So you want to take as little damage from extraneous or outside factors as possible while still achieving that main objective of punishing the whiff. So I guess the complete summary would be punishing the whiff while taking as minimal damage as possible. So here, that's probably the hardest part of the footsies too, is making sure that while you're trying to achieve that objective of punishing their buttons, you take as little damage as possible, because that's how you win. It's by making sure you don't get hit, because top players, they don't get hit by dumb stuff. Anything like you try and throw out at them, they'll block, but they'll still be able to punish your buttons. So that's it. In a sense, your defense is really what makes your footsies, like, that's what separates a good player from like intermediate player in terms of footsies, because good players have really, really good defense. Like Ryder, for example, I like to use him as an example from the times I've played him, and just by watching him play, he doesn't get hit by anything really dumb, but at the same time, if you whiff something and he step kicks, he's getting like 30-40% just for punishing a button. And it'll seem like he's just raping the guy, but that's the reason why, if you see like he's just wrecking a guy and he barely takes any damage, it's because he hasn't gotten hit by anything dumb. But at the same time, he's doing all the damage that he can off his one step kick, which is really impressive, especially considering, he's not been on the scene all that long. So I guess even though he's not Akuma, if you want a good example, just check out one of Ryder's videos. He's got tons available. He goes to the break every week, and watch him play, because he's a good example of how you can make footsies work in SF4, in my opinion. He's one of the players that stands out to me as having really good footsies. Chris Hu also, when I watch his videos, I thought I could handle him, and maybe if I played a little better, I would have had a better chance against him. But when you actually play him, his footsies are very, very good, and he doesn't take any unnecessary damage. So here, yeah, I'm just trying to stick to the fact, just trying to block, most importantly, not take any dumb damage, and yeah, see how he's sticking out those buttons? That's what you want to punish those. Um, this is like my first game of the day, and my footsies still aren't that good, but and I guess another thing, I'm just gonna throw it out there just because I live near Baltimore is want to get better footsies, you know, play CVS too if there are people in your area that play it, because that game revolves completely around footsies. Like there, I mean, you have combos and stuff. You have combos and you have links and stuff, but for some characters like Sagat, Blanca maybe, Cammy, like all your damage revolves around, like most of your damage revolves around whiff punishing, and you will not win matches if you cannot whiff punish. It's just not possible unless you're playing like complete random Mexican dudes at the mall or something. You're not gonna win against someone that knows what they're doing. So yeah, that's one thing. Maybe I might get into CVS again, I don't know, but I'll have to pick another team. The team I was using wasn't really working out the way I wanted them to. So that's something to consider. Try playing an older game. Not even just CVS, but you could try playing Third Strike, try playing Alpha series like Alpha 2, Super Turbo. Those games, you really need good footsies to win. So, maybe try checking out one of those games and see what you could do. And also, I guess as an example of a Akuma player, which I think has really good footsies, I mean, I think Truehood's good, but you probably won't find that many videos of him out there because, he just mostly plays on live. When he does go to tournaments, it's not like he's being live streamed. He's just playing on he's just playing on the setups on the side. It's a real treat to watch him play. But aside from that, if you really want to try and get a gauge of like a good Akuma player with footsies, try seeing if you can find videos of Dr. Chaos or T-Boss Legend on online. That's his alias, so try searching for that on YouTube. Basically his game he revolves around sort of like an infiltration based playstyle where he just walks up and tries to whiff punish. Doesn't really use that much zoning, not that many fireballs. He just tries to whiff punish and basically starts his offense off that. So check out Dr. Chaos if you want an Akuma only example of like the footsies you need to incorporate as well. But yeah, even if you're losing, like if you find yourself losing more often online because of this, like I'm sure I'll probably start losing because you'll probably run into some random guys on Xbox Live that just press buttons and they're not really thinking, and their shit might work on you because you can't react to it. Still try and practice because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're just losing to these random guys. They're not the guys you're going to have to play in tournaments. And the point is that when you go to a tournament, even if you run into these top players that you never get a chance to fight in any other scenario, you have to be able to compete with them regardless. Like, it's not like there's any people on Chris Who or like Marlon Pie or like there's not like there's people on that level at Xanadu every week, although there are a couple of people that can compete with them. But it's not like they're going to show up to Xanadu every week and you're going to get to play them. So you have to be prepared for that, and that's one thing. Even though I think I prepared well for Summer Jam, that's one thing that I was worried about, and one thing that I failed to do is I failed to play at the level I needed to compete with those players that I knew were probably more experienced than me. I lost to basically all the people I lost to in my matches were I felt they spent more time with the game because I've been busy with school. I'm not gonna make excuses for that, obviously, but I'm just saying, even though I'm busy with school and I'm busy, with real life stuff, I still want to be able to compete with them because I'm sure they've got shit going on too. I still need to be able to compete with them and beat them if possible. So yeah, that's just how I feel about that. In this match, he was playing Balrog, and there are some characters, who, you know, they might have different buttons and stuff, but you still want to try and like know what's going on. Like, don't leave any scenario of like movements that happen in a match, don't leave any of them like up to question. You need to know why every single thing happened, because I don't know, there's just something I really noticed that this weekend is like the top players, even in the most like convoluted situations where there was so much happening on the screen and people were just mashing buttons and like so much shit was happening, like they still knew what they needed to do to come out on top in the situation, or what was their best option, or what they perceived to be was their best option. You just have to know what you're doing. So I guess that'll do it for these videos. I hope this helps a little, because I was getting PMs and comments asking what people can do to improve their matchup experience, or what they can do to improve their game. So I mean, I'm no professional myself, obviously. I mean, I only placed like 33rd or something at Summer Jam. So, you know, I'm not the end all be all oracle of advice, but I'm just going to give you what my perspective is based on the experience that I got from Summer Jam this weekend, and based on, you know, what I'm going to try and do to improve myself. So hopefully, maybe, and basically at the end of the day, I hope this becomes a way for Akuma players on the forum in particular, because those forums are fucking dead right now. There's no one sharing knowledge, and there's not that much critical thinking happening on those forums. So I'm just trying to like spark something, so maybe people can start actually thinking about the game and not just posting YouTube videos of them playing mirror matches and just pressing buttons and not knowing what the fuck is going on, because that's really fucking annoying. It's like, don't just post videos in like blog threads and video threads of you playing mirror and there's nobody like asking what's going on. It's like, at the end of the day, that's not helping anybody. One, it's a mirror match, so it's like, how often are you going to, like, what are the odds you're going to play a mirror match in a tournament, or what are the odds like learning how to play the mirror match is going to help your overall game? It's not even going to help that much. It's like, you have to try and like post videos of other matchups, talk about other matchups, because that's what's important. Learn how to play other matchups, especially your bad ones. But that's another rant for another day. So yeah, I guess, you know, hope that helps. So I'll try and post some more videos later on, hopefully still demonstrating this concept. So if you find it helpful, just send me a comment or post in the Akuma blog thread or something, so, and let me know. So alright, take it easy, guys.